finally where he belongs in the spotlight. This is a guy, and Gavin Morris, probably many of you listening out there follow him on Twitter. He's sort of become a little cult figure at USC, but it's always behind the scenes. Why don't you start by explaining what you do here, Gav? What is your role at USC?
To recruit and just take care of our guys, just make sure they're doing the right thing, and just put out a lot of fires.
Well, your official title is public player development, right? So,
Correct.
So what goes into player development for you, and how do you handle your task every day?
It's grown.
We'll talk about where you started a little bit. I guess give people the full history here, where you started.
The origin story, like Batman.
I started as a recruiting analyst, where just did a lot of recruiting, breaking down film. I was just super bottom of the totem pole. I was hired by Steve Sarkisian, who I just got off the phone with. And then,
everybody knows everybody.
Well, he had to talk about something. But then I got promoted to high school relations coordinator, where I guess I stopped doing breaking down film, watching as much film, and then started dealing with just building relationships with high school coordinators. And even behind the scenes, I was dealing with getting kids to class, just dealing with academics, working with our academic people. And then 2 years ago, got promoted to director of player development, where similar roles. I probably don't do as much academic, chasing kids around, but more
for the best.
Yeah, but I do a lot of recruiting, a lot of building relationships with coaches, players, families. I help deal with with the basketball team. I do a little bit of everything. It's always a mystery what I do, but
you like to keep it a mystery.
Yeah.
Well, you keep using the word relationships, and I think that's interesting because you just sort of described yourself to me the other day as a little bit old school in terms of recruiting. We look at it now and all this sort of facility wars and who's got the coolest graphic designers and all of that, but it seems like you approach it a little bit differently. How do you sell USC? How do you get people to come to this program?
It's not a hard sell. It's a great institution. I always tell people, I want to send my kids here. I want to work here. Hopefully I'm fortunate enough to still be here, have my kids come here. But you just keep it real, and you just let them know that, a lot of times kids get caught up in emotions and glitz and glamour and, jerseys, cleats, or who's hot right now, right. What team's winning right now, and they don't look at the big picture, the 40-year plan. Like I always tell kids, I said, especially from out of state, if I'm gonna pay you to live in Los Angeles, where you rent and we give you your stipend, your rent's paid for, you get to live in Los Angeles, how would you not choose it? But a lot of times kids are scared. I went away to school, so I usually tell kids I'm the one that went away. Sometimes you got to grow out your shell and grow. But like I said, this is a great place. I think we have a lot of great things going on with all athletics, especially football. Starting, I guess, next Friday when we play in the Holiday Bowl, hopefully we'll go to, show the world that, we probably have the best offense in the world and put a lot of points on this great defense that Iowa has. But this is SC. This is the pinnacle.
Talk about the coaches' involvement a little bit. I've seen you on Twitter, with Chris Hawkins and Michael Hutchins and Kerry Colbert, and talk about their role and how much. And Coach Drevno was on Twitter today with Big, and talk about these coaches and how they're involved and your relationship with them and how that all works.
Well, I always tell Coach, I'm there to assist them. I'm not a coach, so I'm there, while they're game planning, while they're getting ready for either on the road or, during the season. I'm there to take care of a lot of the day-to-day stuff in recruiting. But, like I said, we got some, I mentioned like Chris Hawkins and Michael Hutch. Those guys are just future superstars in the business. Kerry Colbert, future superstar in the business. I mean, these guys.
When you say that, I mean they love recruiting. They love getting out there.
They love recruiting.
Like
I said, I've been here where they were players, and I used to always tell them, you're not, you guys, you're okay players, but you're gonna be better coaches.
I was gonna say you're saying such nice things about them now. I feel like when I see you out on the practice field, you're not just filling them with compliments. You seem to you knock them down a peg.
Well, I always tell Mike Hutch, Saquon slips. You didn't make that tackle, But those guys, they're hungry, and they want this university to be back to the championship level. When they left, and I think this team coming forward, next year, I think we're right there. I mean, we were young this year, had a true freshman quarterback. Everybody's excited about Oregon, but Oregon last year was 8-4, and they had a junior quarterback come back. Can you imagine if Sam would have came back the year?
Yeah.
Last year, what our team would have looked like. So, we're 8-4, coming back with, either a true freshman or a redshirt freshman in JT, who both have game experience. And like I said, I think we got the best wide receivers in the country. Even when Michael Pittman leaves, I think the guys, the young guys are ready to step up and just keep that tradition going. And like I said, I know we got a tough schedule next year, but I think we're going to shock the world.
Yeah, and there's been some real support shown recently now for this staff, though. The president, the athletic director, sort of vowing to give you the support that you need to help you guys on your way. Where do you think that this program could use a boost on the recruiting side as you look around the country? I mean, do you feel like you guys could really benefit from that kind of support?
Well, Mike's been great. I've never seen an AD with that much energy.
Yeah.
And,
he matches you.
Yeah. I mean, he wants to be involved. He says anything you need, just let us know. Unfortunately, being in Los Angeles, we're not in Pullman where you can just build a building for $5 million and, it can just be fabulous. It costs, and we're landlocked. So a lot of the things that other schools can do, we can't do. And now, I told somebody today, I said, we might want to upgrade some stuff around here, It's been a few years, because it's an arms race. We have to keep up with what other people are doing. And, I know sometimes we say, we're SC, but this is different, College football is different. Everybody, back in the day, we used to make a lot more money than other schools. But now with
it's changed.
It's changed. All these colleges are making TV contracts and $20 million in Pullman and Eugene. And it goes along a lot farther than it does in Los Angeles. And so they have an advantage now where they can keep their coaches. The coaches can live, in cities cheaper, pay less taxes, have their money go longer compared to living in Los Angeles. A lot of our coaches like to live closer to the beach. Yeah. It's about an hour and a half drive, so it's different. Other schools, they live 15 minutes from their campus. So those things all go into play in recruiting and keeping. And, I mean, for Graham to stay, that just shows you, what we have coming back. Because I know, another school, I won't mention their name, was coming after him. And, he believed in this team and this offense, and he knows that we can do something special. And, I think he's a rising star, and I love working with them. My Team Texas guys.
You're an honorary member of Team Texas.
Yes, I'm Team Crenshaw. They're Team Texas, but honorary member.
Gavin, being a former player, obviously the bowl game is huge. But I know you have your hands in a lot of things. What are the bowl gifts this year, man? When I was a player, that's all I worried about, Jordan. What are the bowl gifts this year? Man? Obviously, you want to win the game, but we'll talk about the bowl gifts
What's
a little
the swag?
The bowl gifts, the bowl gifts are good. This is my second time in the holiday. My first year we went to a Holiday Bowl. I don't want to speak on another bowl we went to, but actually the Holiday Bowls give pretty good gifts. It was TV, recliner, a lot of Beats by Dre.
Video game system.
Yeah.
What's the hot thing this year? What everybody
I don't know,
need?
man.
The virtual reality, the new virtual reality thing.
The recliner is always
that's a winner for you.
That's always a winner.
You're not here. You're just kicking back in some bowl game recliner that you got.
I said if I was a college
60-inch
student,
TV?
it doesn't match my
oh,
your
my
decor. But if I was a college student, there's no way I'm not getting a recliner. There's no way.
Especially some of these big fellas.
Yeah.
Well, if any of those gifts kind of slip up to the radio broadcast, we won't get mad, man.
I got you.
That's Gavin, man. He brings the hype on the field, and he gets the players to come to USC. Gavin Morris, appreciate you joining us. We're gonna have you on a lot in the future. Become a regular here on Trojans Live
Segment.
Sean Cody, we'll break down the signing class, Holiday Bowl. Still more to come on Trojans Live.